Sup everyone, my name is Sniffer94 and I wanted to do a video where I show some challenges and like how I've been playing the wipe this time around, 12.12, and how I'll continue playing in the fucking future, let me tell you, because this is hilarious. So I play the game based on randomizer, like I just click roll on Tarkov roulette and I see what I get. The thing is, I spice it up even harder. I have some challenges to the rolls. So like if I roll an AK and it has a specific challenge, it has a challenge to it, then I have to play with an AK with maybe the highest Ergo build, highest Recoil build, naked run, etc, etc. And I will have all the challenges linked down in the description, so you can just copy paste them into the website. So you can follow along and play Tarkov like I do. I am pretty rich bitch, so this comes from someone that's not a fucking scrub. I have 121 million. I don't need more. I have a shit ton of money and I know what I'm talking about basically. So this works. Like, you will earn money doing this. It's 100% guarantee. There's no way you'll go down in money, honestly. It will be pretty difficult in my opinion. I usually play in duos, but lately I've been playing a lot of solos and still doing this crap. So it does work, let me tell you. So I think we should start off by me showing off how I do things. So let's go to the website and we're gonna check out the first challenge. Okay, so I will timestamp, like right now we're gonna do the stylish run, but I'm gonna timestamp every single challenge so you can see how you build the loadout. And we're gonna have some gameplay just for funsies. An offline factory raid, like a little bit. We shoot a couple of scavs with it and check it out. So what you do is you click on these, you go on TarkovRoulette.com, I have it linked in the description. And you click these three dots up here. And you can copy paste the challenge name and the description of it. So we're gonna start off by doing a stylish run. Now let's see what we get. Okay, we got an Asphalt. Asphalt is kind of a boring gun, but if you roll this, you have to play with this. There's no rolling again, so to speak. So, and the thing is that you're supposed to have all these challenges activated. Right now I'm just showing you off for test purposes, just, you know, so you're supposed to have every single challenge that I'm gonna show in this video ticked on. Or just, whatever, pick the ones you like, I guess. But we're gonna do an Asphalt, okay. So, it would look something like this, I'd say, honestly. So, you got Asphalt, you can wear whatever helmet, whatever armor and backpack you want. So this is pretty spicy, you can bring how much ammo you want. Up next we have something I just call a free-for-all run, which is basically you can go in with whatever you want. It doesn't matter what gear, you choose. So if you want to go sweaty and do the meta shit, you do you. It's all up to you. So this is what I picked. It's all up to you guys, whatever you want to pick.
Ну пы. Что за хрень?
Okay, so the challenge up next is something I like to call the meta run. The meta run is where you play with the lowest recoil of the gun that you just rolled. If you want to go even more like recoil big dick, then you're gonna use the lowest recoil ammunition. So let's do a roll and check it out. M1A. Okay, this is a good one. Not gonna lie. So this is basically how a meta run would look like. I'd say you can wear whatever armor you want and put actually whatever ammo you want, but like I said, if you want to have the extra low recoil, you go with a bullet that gives you the minus recoil here. And in this case, it's actually the Ultra Noiser or M62. It really depends, because this bullet apparently gives 10 plus accuracy, and you want more accuracy. But hey, this bullet sucks pretty hard actually. But maybe it's easier for head taps. Who fucking knows? Let's try it out.
Ну чё ты там ползаешь?
Not gonna lie, that fucking meta challenge with the lowest recoil ammunition as well, that is really fucking cool, as you saw. But let's move on to the next one, which is a naked run. So naked run is pretty much like a hatchet run, but you're allowed to bring a gun and one mag. No healing, no nothing. So let's see what we get. A mutant, how nice. There you go. This is a naked run, more or less, in my opinion. You can pack your gun with whatever ammo you want. If you want to go BP, you do that shit. But you can go in with whatever shit you want when it comes to ammo. And so bring the gun, and everything you find from now on is extra. So if you find an attachment, for example, like a silencer or something like that, you're allowed to buy the muzzle device on the flea market to upgrade your mutant to be even better. That's the whole point, to make this a little bit more fun, to find the attachments in raid. It is pretty fucking badass actually, let me tell you. I've made some insane guns, like actually meta builds I've made out of naked runs. So this is pretty spicy, and it will spice up your gameplay a shit ton. And you will earn money, because you can put whatever profits in your pouch.
На, блядь! Блядь!
So the next run we're gonna do is a SCAV Run. SCAV Run is not really what you might think it is, actually. A SCAV Run is when you go in on your SCAV, you do a SCAV Run, you survive it, and whatever you had on your SCAV at the point of extraction, you're allowed to play with on your PMC. Well, you have to play. You have to play with the shit you had on your SCAV on your PMC, and you go in with that gear and try to upgrade it. You can use whatever ammo you want, so you can pack a shitty SCAV gun with like the best ammo if you want, and just pop ass and get a lot of jams. that is for damn sure gonna happen. And but you have to use the gun you spawn in with as a SCAV. So even if you find a better gun on your SCAV, you're not really I wouldn't consider you're allowed to use that shit. So you have to use the shitty SCAV gun. So this is what I do usually when I roll a class like this. What I would like to do actually is to do a woods SCAV run instead, because then you actually earn some money and maybe find some better gear. But if you have friends waiting for you, you might consider doing some factory like this and just go to the extraction immediately like this. Easy game. Look at this. And you actually earn some SCAV reputation by doing this as well. So this is actually a way to like get more SCAV karma.
Короче, капец тебе, служивый! Блядь, вертать! Сука ты, блядь, ну... Да вот он!
Okay, so the next run we're gonna do is a Ergo Run. So this pretty much requires you having Ergo builds for all your guns. I do, but you probably don't. So the point is to have the highest Ergo possible on your gun. But you are allowed to, of course, use the baseline magazine. Like the 30, if you roll an AK, for example, you can use the 30 rounder. You don't have to use like the 10 rounders just to get more Ergo, but you could if you want. So this is more or less how your Ergo build should look like. You can go in with whatever gear you want. It doesn't matter. But I would keep in mind that tactical rigs and like armored vests have a ergonomic penalty. So my recommendation is to have a as low as possible ergonomic hit, because then you will get the benefits of having a high ergonomic like this. It's gonna be 84, so you're gonna ADS like a fucking insane motherfucker. You're gonna ADS way faster than anyone.
Сука! Не, блядь, жри!
Run up next is called the DayZ Run, and DayZ Run is a little bit about upgrading your gun in raid kind of thing. You're allowed to bring with you 2 magazines and mod the gun so you can put attachments on the fly. But if you find a silencer, for example, you don't have to find a muzzle device. As long as it fits your gun, you can equip that shit. Or if you find the muzzle device but not the silencer, you can buy that shit on the flea market, etc. The whole thing is to upgrade your gun, like I said. And the point of view doing this is that now you're gonna search a lot of like weapon crates, etc. to upgrade your gun. It's the same thing with the naked run and all that shit. Alright, so the next challenge is to do a TarkovRandom Run. Now this is a different website we're gonna use for this purpose, so if you would roll this, you don't have to take into account whatever gun you rolled or anything, but on this new website, this one, you gotta do everything it says here. You're gonna go in with this gear. So let's roll something. Because we rolled a Stechkin automatic pistol. Pretty simple stuff. Alright, let's do this. So, our setup would look sorta like this. Yep, it would look exactly like this. This is what the website told us to use, so this is what we're gonna use and see what we can do with it.
На, блядь, жри, сука! Вот пиздец, сука! Ну чё? Чё, какой, кстати, батон в будку закидывай? Сука ты, блядь, и упырь, блядь, гнида, блядь! Куда?
Now, the next run we're gonna do is pretty fucking popular already, but it's a Hatchet Run. So the point is you're going in with just your melee weapon and try to upgrade from there, which is pretty fucking awesome if you tell me. So what you basically do is that you just unequip your healing. You're not allowed to bring any healing. You're supposed to find it in raid. You can use your keys. You can have your keys. and you can have your injector's case if you really want to. But you're not allowed to wear anything else right now, like not even a headset. You're supposed to find everything in raid. So let's see if we can kill a scav on horde mode factory this time. I doubt we can. We will probably get one tapped. Scavs are actually really dangerous, so try to stay out of your way. So if you do Hatchet Run, my recommendation is just to do stashes until you find a gun, and then you're good to go.
Нехороший, блядь, человек.
Okay, so the next run we're gonna do is a SCAV RP run. And actually this came to made me think of something. So when I told you earlier that like when you do naked runs, like imagine if you rolled a like a sniper, for example, you are allowed to equip a scope on your sniper, like whatever scope you want really, because like they are unusable in some circumstances. But in SCAV RP run, you're gonna fucking torture yourself, because you're gonna have to use like you're gonna have to look like a scav, but you play as your PMC, so you gotta wear scav gear. So I would say like level 3 armors, a little cap, a headset, a scav backpack, then you're golden. So let's see what we get, and I'll show you how the gun is supposed to work. So you gotta use a barely functional gun. That is the thing. So you gotta unequip everything on the gun so it's barely functional, even the rear sights. So let's check this out. So this would be your setup to role play as a scav. You have a scav vest, you have a scav backpack, you have a puck armor. You can wear level 3 armor as well, like a press armor or something if you would want that. Headset and a cap. And this is your gun that you're gonna have to use. So let's demonstrate this. Can you possibly kill a scav on factory horde mode? Let's see about that.
Пацаны, окружаем его! Вот!
So a medic run. The medic run is like, it would work at its perfection if you play with friends, but you can do it solo as well, but it's a little bit more boring. Because have you ever had your teammate like call out for a CMS kit? Then you have the medic. You have to play with highest flesh damage rounds, or just flesh damage rounds. It doesn't have has to be the best ones, whatever you can get your hands on. And you have to use the med backpack. That backpack, you can only fill it up with medical supplies. So that means basically if you play with a squad with this shit, you're the one that's gonna loot the lead access. Let's just say that shit, because you cannot even carry a fucking graphics card unless you put it in your rig, of course. Your rig is free to put whatever you want, and same with the pouch, because you're gonna have all your meds out in the open. You're not allowed to put them in your pouch. So let's roll a gun. So your kit would look something like this. You can wear whatever gear you want, but it has to be a med backpack. And I guess you gotta use some like meta rounds. I don't have ones at the moment, so we're just gonna use the AP bullets for this purpose. But really, like you could use on shotgun specifically, like you could use whatever like slug you really want, because all of them make insane amounts of damage anyway.
Вот он, блядь! Вот ты что! Вот тупырь!
The run up next is kinda difficult, and like not difficult, but like it's kind of hard to find the gear because it's not always up on the market. But a Twitch Rivals run is where you deck yourself out with Twitch Rivals gear. So that means more or less like the Shroud mask, not Shroud mask, that the Twitch Rivals like a lower mask, yeah, or the Balaclava, that works too. The Rivals Paka armor and a Pilgrim, that's where you look like all purple, and you gotta use a sweaty meta gun. So like if you can think of any sweaty meta gun, like the Mutant for example, or any sweat gun really, you just use that shit and you go ham. So this is how you should look, in my honest opinion. You should buy this. This one is pretty expensive, but so I definitely recommend insuring it. People will most likely grab it, but if you die by a SCAV, it's always good. So here's a sweaty mutant, in my honest opinion. Like, okay, the Ergo is maybe not something a fucking lab shad would use, but this is sweaty in my honest opinion. This is the meta build for the mutant. I do not think it's possible to go lower recoil than this. So let's fucking kill some scavs. So the next run is a World War II run, where you gotta use a World War II era gun, and I guess this you need some kind of like knowledge about guns, but you know, old guns like the PPSH, TT pistol, Mosin, and of course you're allowed to use the like if the attachment existed in World War II, you're allowed to use it, and you gotta wear a tank helmet, because the tank helmet is the only one I think that makes like any sense really. Because that one is actually kind of World War II era appropriate. So let's see if we can make a setup with it. I've actually not done one yet. This I think is the closest thing you come to World War II. Like a SCAV backpack, I don't think it's really era appropriate, but I mean, I guess a little bit. So you can use a SCAV backpack. SCAV vest, I'd say, is it really looks like something that could be used in World War II at least. And the PPSH with a drum mag. And that's gonna be a little bit spicy actually, because you're gonna have to drag, when you need to reload, you're gonna have to drag the magazine out and then put this one in. So that's gonna be a little bit interesting. Let's check it out on a SCAV run and see how it works. Cold War run. Yes, so you're allowed to use a Shish 68 helmet and attachments appropriate for the Cold War era. So the Cold War era guns would be like a FAL, M4, AKM, the AK series. Not the AK100 series though, that one is a little bit more recent. So yeah, let's check out how we do a setup for this. So I chose to go with an M4A1 that sort of looks like the Commando M4 from the Vietnam era. So let's try this shit out to see if it works. You can bring F1 grenades. Like F1 grenades I would say is kind of sort of appropriate for its era. And yeah, there's definitely, like most nades in Tarkov is pretty appropriate for Cold War era in my opinion. But you're not allowed to use any armor still just a helmet. Okay, so the last challenge that we're gonna end things off with is a Modern Warfare era challenge. Then you're gonna use like attachments that's kind of appropriate for, you know, like soldier, like you're supposed to RP as a soldier more or less. But that doesn't mean that if you kill someone with this shit, you know, it's the same with all of these challenges. If you kill someone with this shit and you would just want to switch the gear, that's totally fine. You do whatever you want. As long as you spawn in with this shit, you're like good to go, I'd say. So, yeah, a Modern Warfare era. Let's see how we do that. This, I think, it would be pretty appropriate looking, actually. Like you could do however you want, really, with the Modern Warfare era style. But I think this looks pretty cool, actually. So let's try it out on some scavs.
Чё, забыл, что тебе батон в будку закидывать? Ах ты хер ебучий! Вот хуй! Вон он! Блядь, ебашь его! Блядь, держать иди!
So, that was basically it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and hope you got some new ideas on how to play Tarkov to spice up your day-to-day Tarkov gaming. So, yeah, I'll see you guys. I'll most likely, like I do videos in Swedish, but this one I really wanted to do in English because I wanted to like throw this idea out to as many people as possible. But I usually do Swedish videos, like all the time. So, yeah, have a good day. And see you in Tarkov.